Hey, welcome back to the channel. A while back we made this duck call, and I promised you a video on how to make the reed and all the components that go in it. And let's get started. I've got a piece of cherry wood here in the lathe, and I like cherry wood. It's kind of a broad grain structure, and it seems like it doesn't want to crack very easy. Plus it's easy to seal and keep it a little bit waterproof. So anyway, here we go. We're going to give it a shot. Looks like someone didn't plug my lathe in. Anyway, to fire the cleaning staff. Got it. We're back. Took more than a little bit of effort to figure out where to plug it in, but we're there. Anyway, what I was saying is we got a piece of cherry wood in here. We're going to turn this down to the 1/2 inch diameter that we left in this part of the call right here. And we're going to try to make this all one piece, so we might want to make more than one soundboard. So here we go. Still way too big, but let's see what we are. $594. We're going to go down 94 thousandths. $40 more thousandths. Within 10 thousandths, so we're going to sand the rest of it. That won't fit. Measurement kind of across everything. 498. 5 right on the money. 510. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit off on this side with sandpaper. Perfect. We've got this down now to pretty much 1/2 inch all the way across, give or take a little bit. So what we want to do now is start making our lengths for our soundboards that we need. And I'm going to adjust this to about 2 inches, which is always a little bit long, but it's nice to keep a little extra on there. For you can always take it off. It's kind of a bugger to put it back on. Okay. Now I've made enough. I've got enough here to make 2 of the long soundboards of what the reed sets on, but we need some little 1/2 inch wedges to go on top to pin it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here on the tail end of this, and we're going to clean up and make enough to maybe make 2 wedges, or 2 different little pieces that will become wedges. And I need to take this back just a little bit more. So we're going to turn this on, and we're going to slowly just come in here and just kind of make some marks until we get it ready to separate. Pull one of these off right now. Alright, so now we've got our 2 pieces we're going to use for soundboards, and I've got a couple pieces here we'll use for the wedges on top of the reed. We'll set all that aside, and I'm going to make a quick chuck change here. Sling chuck, that's great for doing starting square stock. And you can use it to drill a hole with a drill. It's just a little easier. Okay. So we're going to take one of our pieces, and one of them is already going to have a center hole that we started with. So we're going to take the easy route on this. We're going to put that in here like that. Now I thought I got over here with the right size drill. I'll be back. I'm back, and so I like to keep them right around 200 thousandths. This drill mic'd out at 230 is probably some millimeter thing or something, but we're not going to worry about that. I forgot my chuck. This isn't the normal place I work. I got drafted to put this in here. I'm back with the drill. I got my chuck. So we're going to take our live center out. Put a chuck in. Alright, let's make a hole. Alright, we're through. Okay. Got a nice round hole, both sides, nice and even. And now, the only way I try to do this several different ways, and there's no way you can exactly split this in half and use both sides. One side's always going to be a salvage side. So if you do have a chance where you didn't have quite a great lineup, you can use that as a part that you want to sand down to make the radius for your call. So what we're going to do, we're turn our lathe into a sander. So how I'm doing this, I'm just holding it by the end of my fingers here, and we're going to go in and we're going to try to get this to where we've got it kind of sanded down to the opening of the hole, and I'll show you what I mean when we get to it. Nice fresh sandpaper on here really helps. So we're down to the hole that we bored through now. So what I'm going to start doing here is I'm going to probably take a little bit more on it. We still want to be maybe a little above half our distance. A little, you want this to be stronger than that half if you split it right down the middle. So we're going to start, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start rolling it like this until I can come out, and we'll get it all the way down to where we don't have any hole showing. Wouldn't be a day if I didn't have to bend down 10 times. Alright, I'm going to come around the camera and I'm going to kind of give you a close-up of what this looks like. I hope you guys can see that. So you can see we've ground this down to here, and we've taken it, the profile down this way until now we've lost the hole. You need this little space here where the air can't get, if the reed went all the way down, air can't get past it. So we're going to start with that. And we've left a little on here if we have to take and make this radius a little shallower, but we've got a little bit left. So now let's move on to making the wedge piece that sits on the top. Alright, so we have our little wedge pieces. They're all round now. We need to make them look kind of like a doorstop. So if you look at your piece of wood, you'll see that there's a grain pattern in it.
Right.
And we want to set that grain pattern. Typically what I do is I take my pocket knife and something like this. Set it at the middle, as much as the middle of this with the little piece of wood you can. Give it a few taps. It'll break in two. So now the other one rolled under the table, so I'll never find that. But we're going to take this. We're going to go back and put our sanding disc back in. And we're going to just give this just a little bit of an angle. Like that. Alright, here's the two pieces we made. Here's the soundboard. As you can see, when we drill the hole here and sanded it down, you have a little flat spot right here at the very end. And that little flat spot is so that when the reed goes down, it stops there. So that's about where we want that. This is our wedge piece that we just cut in half over there and then sanded down. This side right here is a little narrower than this, so when it'll be a wedge when we put a reed in between it and put it back into the hole. So this is where we're at right now. Let's go cut a reed for it and we'll see how it sounds. Alright, we're going to set these aside. Now on your material for, they all go in the sink, your material for making duck calls, you can actually buy material. I believe this is 7 thousandths thick. We can do that. Another thing I've used that works for duck calls and even predator calls, it's a little high pitched. It's just this, and it's kind of hard to see for the camera here, but this is just packaging material that came off of a box that you could see through and see the item in the box. So this stuff here works pretty good. It's fairly solid, it's tough, and if you've ever tried to open one of them packages, you need a machete to get through it. This stuff's pretty good, and it makes great reed material for different stuff, so it's always nice to have a little piece of this around. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and use a piece of the legal stuff. And I'm going to turn my lathe around so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll just kind of make a little spot here. So obviously we need a 1/2 inch reed to go in our 1/2 inch hole. And we're going to go ahead and go to 1/2 inch on here. Right there. And I've got a straight spot right here on the piece of material. I'm just going to slide this along. Make a little mark, and I had a razor knife here somewhere. Here it is. And we're going to cut that out. I'm going to take a pair of scissors. Alright, we've got our piece. It's a little too long. What we're going to do is we're going to take it, put it on our soundboard. It feels a little wide, but we'll play it by ear here. If we have to take a little more off, we will. Okay, I'm going to mark it here, and I'm going to come right to the end of the call, cut it off. Now I'm just going to taper the end back a bit. I'll come around here a little bit and show you. See that is, maybe the camera can zoom in on it. When I first start these, I try to leave quite a bit on the tip of them. And I'm going to take this one here, I'll take the left side. Okay. We get all of our parts. Let's see how it fits. That goes in nicely. Alright, that goes in there. Put our wedge in on top. Now right there, our wedge is still a little too tall. So I'm going to pull this back around, and we're going to take a little bit off of it. A little bit more.
Go.
All right, we have our three pieces here. We have the wedge that we worked on. We've got it fitting nice. We took it on the sander, made this in a little bit narrower than this. Now with the reed and everything, they all fit nice. This is the reed. We ended up, this is the taper we put in the front of it that actually you blow onto. We had it in there before. We had to trim just a little bit off of this edge right here. Then I dog-eared the side so it would go in easier. When you place these on, typically what I like to do is kind of hold it up here and make it come. It's probably hard to see on the camera, but they're just not quite to the end. So we're going to put that there. We're going to take our wedge, put it on here. I'll grab the front of the caul. We're going to put that in here like that. And that's it. So at this point you can move this reed in and out a little bit. You can, if you had to, you could, if you weren't getting enough motion out of the reed, you could sand this wedge down a little bit more so it slides into the pocket a little easier. But that's it. And we're going to go ahead and see if we can't fit this in here. Perfect. Now I'm going to try to see if we can give this thing, see what it sounds like. Now that was a little bit, I think my reed needs to come out just a hair. So let's loosen this. Let's try that. Too far out. You know, in all the other outtakes we just did, I did this once and it came out perfect. So figures this is going to give me the great business. Alright, let's try that. That's a lot to this, you just got to play with them a little bit and see what sounds the best. That sounds pretty good. Those hand clucks sound pretty good. Anyway, so now that we got to this point, I typically take a pencil and I do a little mark on here, and I mark it a spot right here and here so I can line up these pieces. It usually doesn't make a difference, but it's nice to get it back to the exact same way you had it when it sounded good. So we're going to take this apart, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little drop of glue on the long soundboard piece and actually glue it to the front part of the caul. It's better to have it anchored. It's easier to hold all these components in if one of them's anchored and you don't have that motion. Another thing you can do, I'll do with most of my cauls, is I'll take a little O-ring and I'll place it over here to where it fits right in here. It doesn't, impede the two pieces going together, but it holds these two pieces tight. Works really well. The last thing we've got to do on this is take it back apart, and on the two wooden pieces that we have, we want to get some paraffin or some candle wax or something, rub in there. If you have a heat gun, you can heat it on there and kind of get it to soak in. That really helps your caul not get out of tune. So that's it. It's really not a whole lot of trouble. I mean, it probably took me all of maybe 15 minutes to make this. I know it's going to look a lot longer on the video, but they go pretty quick, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. Anyway, thanks. Sorry it took so long to get this one out. Happy hunting. Well, when you start to hear me get ready to blow, you're going to have to widen it out, because I can't go like this.